Good day, everyone. Now we are going to look at the buying or procurement process in Asaerp. In procurement process, we have various workflows, starting from material request for quotation, supplier quotation, purchase order, purchase receipt, purchase invoice, then payment entry, that's making payment for the invoice, and lastly landed cost voucher. So we are going to take the various processes one after the other. So let us look at how to process material request. We are going to take it from material request to landed cost. So we're going to walk through all the processes in procurement. So at the end of the day, we are going to decide the process we are going to follow. If it's an automated environment, a structured company environment, all the processes involved in procurement must be followed. But some organizations, they skip them and just go direct to purchase invoice and payment entry. So let us go through the process. So the first one is purchase or material request. So as usual, we'll go to our Asaerp search bar and search it. Material request list. You click on add material request, then you choose the date. By default, the system is going to pick today's date. Then what is the purpose? We have purchase, material transfer, material issue, manufacturer, and customer provided. But for the purpose of this time, we are going to choose material purchase, because this is the first time we're posting. So you need to purchase before you transfer. Purchase. The request by date. What is the date you are requesting this material? But take note that this material is being requested by the user department. So when they request, they send to their superior officer to approve before they can now send for request for quotation from suppliers. So what is the target warehouse? If this material is received, which warehouse are you going to store it? Then I say let us store it in our store. So which item do you want to buy, or we are requesting for? You are requesting for PMS, required by date, today date, or at which date do you require it to receive it? You have to specify it. Quantity. So I want 50,000 liters. 50,000 liters. Then okay, that's all. You save, submit. Good. There is pending. That is status. So the next thing is to, once this thing is created and sent to the superior officer or manager of that user department, once approved, the next thing is to request for quotation. They are going to request for quotation from various vendors. So from here, from the same material request, you go to create, then request for quotation. Once you do that, you choose the date. By default, the system is speaking today's date, so you choose the date. Then which have to pick the suppliers that you tend to send the quotations to. So we are choosing Chris Trading Limited by email, contact email. If you have set up the email, the system is going to send this request for quotation directly to the official email address of this company. but for now it's not set up. So that's that. So you can also add as many as suppliers as possible, but for now what we have is just one supplier in the system, so we have added them. But I just want to show you that you can add as many suppliers as possible, so that you send those quotation request for quotation to them, asking them to send their quotation. So you save, and submit. So the next thing, after sending the request for quotation, so suppliers will begin to send in their quotation. So from here you are going to create supplier quotation. This is the one from Chris Trading. Specify the date, quotation number from supplier, have to specify it. Then cost center, using the cost center of this product you are requesting to buy. Then the same item, you can see the PMS 50,000 liters, and the supplier quoted to supply at the rate of 800 naira per liter. That is Mr. Chris. Then you save. Click on save. Submit. Say yes. Good. So at this point, if there's another supplier that's also quoted, you also come here and so create. So now the next thing, after you must have created the various suppliers quotation, the next thing is to create quotation. After you must have created supplier quotation, the next process in the procurement is to process their purchase order. You can see it here, purchase order, right from the supplier's quotation. Purchase order, still to the same supplier, required by, when do you require this thing? We're just using today for the purpose of this demonstration. Cost center is main. If it's for a project, you choose the project, maybe Bonny Road 1. Okay. Then target warehouse. As you buy this product, which warehouse do you want to store it? I say store. That's our store. This warehouse we are choosing for now. You can see the item is still here. PMS, date, 50 liters at the rate of 800,000. 800 naira per liter, which is 40 million naira in total. So the next thing is to save. Submit. Yes. So after you've created your purchase order, the next stage is you have to now wait. You have sent, after you send the order to the supplier, you now wait to receive your consignment, to receive the product. Once you receive the product, from the same purchase order, you can create your purchase receipt. That means receiving the product in the warehouse. The same way you receive the product physically in the warehouse, the same way you receive it in the system, that's in the Asaerp. So specify the date you receive the product, which you can edit and change the date. But by default, we say it's today. So you can see the same supplier that is there. Accounting dimension, which is the cost center, you choose main. That's the main cost center we are choosing for now. We're using for now. Project is still there, Bonny project. So you can see the accepted warehouse is already there by default. The item is there by default. Accepted quantity, the quantity we ordered is still there. The rate 80 naira per liter is already there. So as you can see, so the next thing is to save. Next thing you save and submit. Once you submit, the product has been received in the warehouse of the company. How do you confirm that? Go to view from this purchase receipt. Go to view. View accounting ledger. View accounting ledger. You can see that the stock in hand has been debited, while the stock receipt but not be is what? Credited. Pending when you now raise your purchase invoice. So let's go back to the purchase receipt. So from the purchase receipt now, once you have the confirmed receipt of the product, you now raise your purchase invoice. Get the purchase invoice on the same date. Confirm the accounting dimension, which is main project, same thing. Then confirm the product, PMS, the amount, and this. So the next thing you save. Submit. So this purchase invoice have been what? Created. You can see you can send this invoice as an email to the supplier automatically. So I will get to that in our subsequent training. Now the next thing, once you've created purchase invoice, the next thing is to make payments. It depends on the operation of the business. So make payment before the supplier can supply. There are some situations where the supplier will supply before payment is made. So in any case, the first scenario we are treating now is a situation where you receive your product from the supplier before making payment. Now we've received the product using purchase receipt. We issue invoice. The next thing is to pay for the product. So from this purchase invoice, you click on create payment. Once you do that, it will now take us to the payment entry environment. You specify the date of the payment, the date you want to make the payment. By default, it's today's date. Payment type is pay, because you're paying to your vendor. So what is your mode of payment? Already set up. We say transfer. This transfer have been linked to our first bank account. So party type is supplier, party is Chris Trading. Go ahead. So go to account. You see the account, the bank account was you're paying from. Account pay from the first bank are set up from the mode of payment environment. So come down, look at the invoice you're paying. You're paying all. You can decide to pay part of the part as because the invoice value is 40 million. You can decide to pay maybe 30 million. 30 million naira out of 40. You can see that this is a starting amount, allocated amount based on the amount paid. So by the time you save, before you save, you have to specify the check reference number. This is the reference number, this is the date of payment. So the next is to save. Save and submit. At this point, you've paid for the product you purchased. So that is the end. But a situation where you pay additional expenses for bringing in this product to your company, how do you now bring in the additional cost to part of the cost of the product? We make use of what we call landed cost voucher. By the time you do it, you see how the system is going to apportion the cost and add it to the cost of the product. So for us to do that, we now go back to our purchase receipt. Go back to the purchase receipt. Then you just search purchase receipt. Good. So this is the one we just posted now. We want to apportion the cost of the flight to it. So assuming that the cost of bringing in this product to the company, you have spent additional, let's say 500,000, maybe for hiring truck. What do? You first of all post the journal voucher for it. Then for you to do that, let us use our journal voucher. From the Asaerp bar, just type journal entry. Say add. So from this is the journal voucher entry. Specify the date as usual. So this is the accounting entry table. It has a debit and a credit column. So now you want to post the expenses first, which is you're going to debit an account called expenses included in valuation. Expenses included in valuation. So you spend 500,000. That must have been expensed. Then you paid from First Bank account. You can see that expense account is debited, while the First Bank is what? Credited. Because that's the standard normal journal entry principle: debit the receiver and credit the giver. So you put your remark. You say the haulage expenses. That's the cost of bringing it here in the warehouse. You must have spent it, so you debit it. Good. So the next thing now is to locate the purchase receipt of that product, which we posted before now, which is this one. This is it. You also take note of the number 0002. So from here, go to connection, then landed cost, because we want to bring in the cost, that 500,000, to be the part of cost of this product. Click on landed cost. Good. Add landed cost voucher. So this is it. Look at the date. You have to make sure you specify the date of the landed cost. So the next thing, receipt purchase type. Click on it. It is purchase what? Receipt. That's what we use in receiving the product. Remember, that's what we use before we use purchase. So purchase receipt. Receipt document is document number 2. You can see it here. Look at the amount, automatically will come. So purchase receipt item. Say get item from purchase receipt. Say yes. Automatically the item will come here, the quantity and the amount. So the next thing is to now apportion that cost, applicable charges. That found that we're going to apportion it here now. Expense account is now expense included in valuation. Discretion is haulage. Expenses. Remember the amount we paid was 500,000. Good. 500,000. The next thing that somebody is asking you, this 500,000, how are you going to distribute it? Is it based on quantity or amount, or you want to distribute manually? You say amount, so that this cost will be distributed and added to the cost of this 40 million naira. So say amount. Once you specify amount, the next thing is to do was save. You save and submit. Say yes. In this by this journal landed cost voucher, the costs have been added to the total cost of the product. If you want to confirm it, go back to that purchase receipt, which is this one. Okay, then view. So it's coming. View the accounting ledger. Good. So you can see that the stock in hand, it was 40 million naira. 500 have been added to it. While the expense included in valuation is not credited. Remember, it was debited using journal. By the time it is valued to be added, it's not debited. So this stock expense included in valuation must always be what? 0. Once it is allocated or portioned or allocated to a particular purchase invoice. So that's that for procurement process in Asaerp. So the next thing is to view the various reports in procurement. For instance, you can view your purchase, the purchase register. You can view your item-wise purchase register and so on. So let us look at your purchase register. Just from your awesome bar, type purchase register. Look at the report purchase register. You specify a date. As of today, this one is given up from 29th of December. Let me just start from this year, 2024, 1st January to today. So you can these are the 2 purchases we've made so far for the year. You can see the voucher number, you can see the date. This is supplier, this is what the supplier group, and so on. So these are the various things. This is the stock in value. So the purchase register will give you your purchase report in amount or in value. So if you want to view your purchase report that will give you both the quantity and the value, use what we call item-wise stock purchase register. Just type item-wise purchase register. So you can see it here. We purchase PMS, AGO. You can see what we purchase. You can see the quantity. You can see the price. You can see the amount. So if you want to view your purchase report both in value and the quantity, you have to make use of item-wise purchase register. But if you want to just view your report and to get just the value, use what we call purchase register. So, and there are also other various, so many reports as per procurement, which you can on your own time, maybe as the story continues, we'll be able to show you. So thank you. That is the end of this session, and if you have questions, you can now ask. Thank you for your time, and thank you very much.